everyone, you have fun to play next, reviewing everything that is awesome, and I do mean awesome gaming. 18 months after the destruction of the Black Gate, they finish searching Batlin's rooms. They find a scroll.
All we found among Batlin's belongings was this enchanted scroll, and a map showing the
Batlin's
way to
the
a
bad
place
guy.
called the Serpent
You
Isle.
need to be brought up to speed if you're that dude.
Put it on the table.
Put the scroll on the table and go
Stand
get
back.
the lotion.
Batlin, in the unlikely event that the Avatar stops me from coming through the Black Gate, I command you to follow the unwitting female human Gweno to the Serpent Isle.
That's Iola's
There I
wife.
shall outline
So
my
get a hold of
plan
Iola's
to
wife.
destroy Britannia.
You get to that part in the game, and it's
My
basically
worst fear.
feels like
I
a
must
race
send
against
the
time.
Avatar
then.
through the pillars to the Serpent Isle.
So rather than worry about defeating all of the geometric shapes, because we had gotten the meat and potatoes of the story, I skipped to Serpent Isle. We will journey onward in our quest to destroy the Guardian. The Guardian is basically traveling through in people's minds and dreams and disrupting Britannia in general. So some sort of evil force. You destroy the Black Gate, so we can't come through, but now you've followed him back to his homeland. So we will journey onward. The interface on this was very innovative. Oh my goodness, everyone's asleep. You were able to read books. For instance, Guide to Knighthood by Graham of Monitor. Courageous men chose weapons, sword, and hammer. Be also wary of those who weave spells, for they have no courage. So this is a different sort of layout than Britannia, if you're familiar with the series. They pull a hard left and they come up with all new rules and everything. So it can be, everything is still in Runic. So you have the Anglo-Saxon Runic, but they change what's important. It's not the bell. Oh gosh, what is the bell? The candle. It's not truth, courage, and love anymore, which result in the 8 virtues like you're used to. So this is Roland. What's that? It's T. That's NG, I thought. That's definitely an R. I don't know. How many street names are there? Roland Wright? It's been a long time. Warriors Road. That one I could read. Look at me go. Right now we're looking for the mayor of the city. We have to report to them immediately, according to the castle guard. So this is a crematorium. We got distracted by this cute little knight. She wants to grow up and become a knight. So they do still have a lot of the same principles, but definitely different roles. So the avatar hasn't come through here. We haven't done the shrines or anything like that. This is our first go round. No avatar has been here. Greetings, sir. Say here, I'm Renfrey the cremator, and here there is a funeral in progress. Lord Marston, Spectre, Brendan, and Kaladin are all in the crypts paying their last respects. Well, I did need to speak with him, so this is important. Now, you can look around, but you can't really touch anything that belongs to people, so the morality in this is brutal. They do not mess. You can get in some serious trouble because you are the avatar, and you're kind of responsible for people's virtue. It's really an interesting game in that way. The next one just really took away from the series and went at it kind of. It's hard to explain. They did Ultima Pagan. He sold the series after this. So this was considered one of the best. Samuel, thou wert never Matt led. No. MATLH. Oh, Matt. Thou wert never matched. I can't even read an epithet. Epitaph? I get those two confused. I probably shouldn't. Terrence. The RM. KURM. Kerm? Herm? Kind of get here. Herm here? I don't know. Let's go find someone to talk to. They speak English. Yes, my lord. I am Inspector, Treasurer of Monitor. Oh, what do you do? Frankly, I do so many things. I'm Monitor's treasurer. Lord Marston may order things done, but I must find a way to pay for it all. That makes sense. I handle the books and the paperwork, and I'm the local money exchanger. I also collect and administer the taxes. Not much of a fighter, even though I'm a knight. Interesting. To barter coins, I charge a small fee. Dost thou agree? We both know. I was just curious. They will find no other money changers with such a low fee. Okay, senor. That must be speaking the wild rogue mage that was recently interested in trying to disrupt Grote's funeral. Interesting. I believe he said his name was Iolo. Thou should speak with Lord Marston. He dealt with him. I dutifully passed the test of knighthood when I was 15, but frankly, not everyone was born to be a knight. I admit it. What I am is an intellectual. Other knights may scoff, but I don't care. I might be an easy target on the list field, but in debate I'm a killer. Perhaps thou shouldst consider taking the test of knighthood. It's not so difficult with proper training. It's very medieval, so they have these sets of rules that just get followed. We citizens are so much nicer to thee when thou art a knight. Rather than a stranger, we distrust outsiders. Test of knighthood. 'Tis actually quite easy. Do not believe what the knights will tell thee. Frankly, I can pass it. If I can pass it, anyone can. If thou desirest to know more, I would suggest speaking with Kaladin. He's the instructor for young knight candidates. Also, those could speak with little Contra. She's preparing to take the test next month and is full of information. I actually did. Our pikemen patrol the major roads connecting Monitor with Fawn and Sleeping Bull, and man the guard towers. In better times, caravans traveled these routes. We collect a fat reward from merchants eager for our protection, but now the rumors of a gathering goblin invasion have scared the travelers off the roads. Frankly, this is nonsense. I'm more worried about the storms, senor. You have teleportation storms. The Knights of Monitor have repelled the goblin aggressors so successfully in the past, and they shall do so again. Well, it was lovely. Seriously. Just very real. Greetings, stranger. I'm Lord Marston. You have a glorious haircut. My goodness. Thou hast come to the city at a grievous hour. We are here to entomb the ashes of a brave pikeman Grote, as well as to mourn the loss of our knight champion. My goodness. Astrid was the finest knight the Monitor ever had. Goblins ambushed her patrol. They slew all but one of the pikemen and took Astrid's body back to their camp to be feasted upon and used to make their sickening trophies, no doubt. My goodness. When the reinforcements came, they were there mere moments too late. They managed to rescue Grote, but his injuries were too severe. Not even our healer Harna could save him. Damn the goblins, they should be exterminated. What business dost thou have with me, stranger? So with Astrid. Canst thou imagine the horrors of being devoured alive? She was a masterful warrior and deserved a finer death than this. Understand, stranger, that Marston and this woman were bedmates. Well, that is blunt. My goodness. There is none to replace her, and certainly none able to reclaim the helm of Monitor from the goblins. Knight Champion is the most revered title in Monitor, more than Lord. To be Knight's Champion is to be the finest warrior in the land. To hone their skills, our knights meet daily in the list field to spar. Thus they demonstrate their martial prowess. From success in tournament and in battle, the Knight's Champion is determined. He or she is privileged to wear the helm of Monitor. I vow war upon them until the end of the world. There shall be no end to my vengeance upon the goblins. They've robbed, pillaged, and murdered our people since our ancestors came here centuries ago. They delight in kidnapping our women and eating them alive. That's a lot for me, that's a lot. In the end, 'tis either men or goblins. Both of us cannot dwell here. Astrid and I were bedmates. Can we we'll not say we were lovers, please, can we? For me, For we were also warriors and comrades in arms. You're going in the wrong direction. I loved her. We were not in love. I shall always remember her. As shall I. Really? What was thou said as Brendan? What? Oh, nothing. Merely mentioning we shall all miss her presence. She was a fine warrior. My goodness. I sense a little bit of a scandal afoot. 'Tis a sacred item once belonging to the goblins. It was what gave their ancient leader Gurnodir the power to build the goblin horde. When our forefathers killed Gurnodir, the helm was claimed for Monitor. It has since been worn by the Knight Champion. We need to reclaim it, else the goblins shall again build their horde and invade this great city. Else can hardly miss the list field. 'Tis a walled field in the south part of town. There's no shortage of opponents, especially if thou dost Go there in the late morning or afternoon. Even strangers like thyself are welcome to spar. 'Tis good preparation for the test of knighthood. If thou dost wish to learn more of this evil race and its history, speak to the Templar. He's an expert. Our people fled from their homeland when an evil tyrant united the kingdoms and sought to force his philosophy upon them. We set sail from Sosaria, that's Britannia, and led beyond the Serpent Pillars by a mage named Urstum, we came to the Serpent Isle. Land was deserted then, settled only by goblins and covered with ruins of a mysterious ancient serpentine civilization. What the heck? This new land was originally to be called New Sosaria, but it became known as the Serpent Isle upon the discovery of various ruins and mysterious ancient serpent writing. We know little else of the race that left its mark here. Thou dost see them across the land left by the evil creatures which once dwelled in this place. If fellow Craig could tell thee more. He's most fond of taking long walks in distant places and often sees strange sights. Urstum was a wild-eyed man driven by his thirst for knowledge and his need for the freedom to pursue it. It is said in his studies and experimentations he did discover things that drove him insane. Others say it was loss of a woman that was his true love that drove him mad. Today he is known as the Mad Mage. His name is most often spoken of in hushed whispers. He was an evil man. Night mage alike rebelled against his tyranny. So our ancestors fled here and founded the 3 cities. British was his name. Lord British he called himself. We call him Beast British. I think we should sit this one out. 3 cities were founded by those who fled the tyrant Moonshade, Fawn, and Monitor. Moonshade is the city of mages, Fawn is the city that worships beauty, and as for Monitor, 'tis the city thou art in now, based on courage. The tyrant Beast British tried to force his bent philosophical virtues upon our ancestors. As magic depends greatly upon illusion, the moon mages dismiss the value of truth, worship beauty. People of Fawn saw little worth in unconditional love. We of Monitor feel that courage stands above the other virtues. So he did. You were actually one of the ones who helped a monster-ridden land settle down by becoming the avatar and representing that spirituality. One cannot be born a knight, nor can the title be bestowed from money or influence. Only a worthy warrior can become a knight. To test the worthiness of those who sought knighthood, a special dungeon was prepared. If one can survive the knight's test, one is ready for knighthood. It is an honor to become a knight Monitor. It is also a heavy responsibility. There are many enemies in the land. One cannot shirk one's responsibility after becoming a knight. So basically, we're going to explore this place like we did Britannia. We're obviously going to have to make some choices here. I'm going to look around and see what's going on with my companions. Perhaps she is a spy for the goblins. Well, this is interesting. Now, I did not agree with all this talk of a spy in our midst. Do not let these rumors divide our city, Kaladin. There was that other suspicious stranger, the fat sage, who I threw out of town, and the scholar, a woman with fine bone structure but a little too old to pleasure me. Could he be speaking of Iola's wife, Lady Gweno? Do not forget the enchanter appeared in the midst of the funeral services for a deceased pikeman. Warriors, be still. There is no spy in Monitor, and I refuse to hear more of this. I am not convinced. The bard! I thought that I would never find thee here. What was that strange storm that struck? There's a flash, and then I found myself in the wilderness. Fearing to be slain by goblins patrolling woods, I instead took shelter in this walled city. These pikemen insist on escorting me to their leader. It's all right, if thou art with my friend here, thou needest not speak with me. Alright, before we go any further, Avatar, I think we should take stock of our supplies. That blasted storm exchanged all of mine equipment for useless refuse, even my enchanted shield. We cannot hope to survive long without proper equipment. Perhaps if we can find where this rubbish came from, we can find our good equipment. I shall prepare a list. I've already begun one, and I shall add to it. So it's exchanging objects. They call it teleportation, but what it's doing is swapping things, which isn't exactly the same thing. So it looks like Iola accidentally crashed a funeral, which is unfortunate. And we've got to find out what's going on with that. So one of our companions needs us, which is pretty usual. We're allowed to be in Monitor now, so we can look around a little bit. I would have sworn that I saw a door here. Yeah, there's a door here. It's locked. I don't know what it's going to do to my lock picks. There's nothing wrong with picking locks. It tends not to penalize you. I want to go ahead and save just because I getteth permissioneth. Did go ahead and get permission to be in the city. So they tell you a little bit about what's going on, you know, in the verse here, because you're far away from Britannia, and they actually consider Lord British to be an enemy. Okay, so I do need a key to open this. It is strange that that did not work. Everything is familiar, though. The interface is familiar, everything like that. So let's find the prison. See what's going on with dear Iolo. Training field. That is not a prison. That's a cornfield. I'm gonna go with no. Oh, look at the cute little houses. So everybody does live somewhere. They have day and night cycles. That was one of the things that Ultima brought to us, was this concept of people living in a world. As far as open world went, while it was limited, they were the first to have it. So everybody has some place to sleep. They have stuff here. You can find out about scandals. Sometimes the people will ask you to help them with stuff that's going on in the village. It has weather patterns. It's just absolutely insane, the level of detail that went in. Let's see. Cellia Solias. I don't actually know what that says. It's something starts with F twice. Furs. Okay, so it's a trapper. HRO. Oh, Fro. You know what? Let's just look inside. My skills at Runic. Okay, so that's a supplier. Best goods and monitor. It's good to have these things. You go through and you resupply as you run around the world and you use things up. What it's not is a prison, and I do very much need to find my friend here. So they have a statuary. Kind of seems important. There's the inn. This might be important. Got some sort of mage that we can check in with. And then I'm guessing that my prison is going to be down here somewhere. You can usually find Dupre in a tavern. He's mildly hilarious. Last time he was touring the taverns, that's where we found him. So that's a training hall. It's walled in so that nobody gets hurt, so that's thoughtful. No prison, though. Okay, what's this? So that has a locked door. That has a locked door. B-A-I something. U-E-T-H something other hall. I can't get into it, so that's unfortunate. Still also not a prison. The bottom line that we're looking for here is to find our friend Iolo. So we're going to skip a whole lot of what would be side questing. Just kind of look around and see where we can get that done. It looks like people are mostly still sleeping. So I just wanted to clear out. That must be the guardhouse. A little bit of that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what's going on here? Iolo, what's up? Please free thine old friend. There hath been a terrible mistake, milady. Storm transported me to the sad city because I am a stranger. They arrested me. Sam, enchanter, speak to Lord Marston and win my freedom, and thou shalt not leave me. So we have to go back and talk to him again. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that part out. Link in the description below. If you like this sort of isometric game, it's cool the amount of detail that they put into it, or you can really go adventuring. You can get drunk, for instance, which was kind of a first. That's not something that they usually let you do. You need to have a certain amount of rations. You can bake things and sell them. You can engage in trade. So it really did expand the world of gaming. It was cool that way. Most things on here are interactive, including the cats, including the doors, the houses that people live in, and etc. So it's really just a fun time. Like I said, link in the description below. Also down there is Gamer Grind, Gamer Coffee shipped to your door. They'll also put your logo on merch for nothing bucks, or you can support the Pirate Queen. We love our logo. It was definitely worth every penny. Very representative of us. Also down there is Coffee, K-O-F-I. Buy this chick a coffee, $1, make me smile. What else is down there? Coffee's down there. We just joined Patreon. So if you want to join the tribe, you certainly can. Looks like our friends have gone back to their duties. Patreon and seem to recall more trouble playing this game. A little bit more action in this area, so I'm waiting for it to go off. Teleportation and storms, I thought one was about to sweep through. Let's see if we can find the main hall and the Lord here. That should be this a ways. And then obviously somebody is having an affair. They have these strange tattoos as well. So like I said, check that out. Oh, subscribing, that is totally free. So definitely hit that and then hit the bell. So if you're into this, if you're, excited about, exploring not Britannia with me and finding out maybe something about the darker side of Lord British, that is the way to be. So we love this sort of thing that brings something extra that maybe you haven't run into before, but it'll just pop up a little thumbnail if you hit the bell, and you'll know whether it's worth your 10-20 minutes of your day, if that's something that you want to check in. We love you guys. We love that you're always along for the ride, and we'll see you in the next video.